was so excited because I get to choose how it's going to mold me. I always say I'm covered in the fingerprints of God. Well, I am because he made me, but I'm also covered in my fingerprints. How do I want this to mold me? I got to choose it. But it's the same way with an entrepreneur. How many times, how many businesses some people start? How many I've started?
Out west where the sun always beams bright, Midland skies keep the hustle in sight. BAM Consultants got the blueprint intact. For dreamers on the grind, they got your back. Championing dreams from the ground to supreme, providing that spark, igniting the team. Marketing flow strategies that glean. BAM in Midland, building your dream. They teach
Bam! Welcome, Miss Tracy McCurry.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing pretty well.
Good.
How about yourself?
Good.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do this for a while.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when I first met you, I think, here at a Bamburger Friday.
It was 2022.
Wow. Time flies.
It has fun.
Time flies. And I think we talked about it then. I think the podcast was just getting going.
Yeah.
But here you are.
Yeah. I think actually a couple of times we have sat and talked, but it turned into more getting to know each other.
Yeah.
As Midlanders coming from bigger cities to what are we going to do here? So
Yeah. Yeah. And you finding your place in Midland.
again.
Right. Again.
Mhm.
Right. So, I mean, what really interests me is you have quite the story, right? You have an incredible journey, right? That you're sharing in real time because you're still going through it, right?
True.
In very many ways, and you've grown a lot through this journey, and I think it's amazing. And actually, just talking to you pre-recording, I just now putting the pieces together. Is like right now is the perfect time for you to come on the podcast.
I think the timing is perfect. There's been some stuff I've had to, in my journey, try to travel to. Am I going to really put my roots back down here?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to return to Austin area. But
Lovely Austin. Yeah.
I know. I love Austin. I don't miss the traffic, but so I'm doing remote business out of there. So I still have my feet there, some roots there.
I am about to replant some roots in Austin, so to
Yay.
speak. My daughter's moving there to go to school.
Wow.
So kind of repeat of me all those years ago when I moved to Austin. I was right around her age. She's
Really?
just a little bit younger by 6-7 months.
She'll love it.
Oh, she's gonna love it.
She'll be enjoying that.
And I'm excited for her because I have to find this balance because I'm so excited for her. I'm just like, go. Right. But I don't want to come off like I don't want her here.
True.
Right. So I remind, okay, I'm gonna miss you, babe. I love you.
But I'm so excited for you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Because you just got to get out, right, of the bubble you're in, right? Because a fish or an animal will only grow as big as its environment. You put the aquarium around a fish. It's supposed to be a big fish. It's only going to grow.
Scrunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing for us humans.
True.
We're surrounded by our own bubble, by our own aquarium. Even though it's self-constructed, it's here, right?
Mhm.
And very few of us are able to expand while still being physically located.
True.
Right. So that's why I feel who I am, because I got out of here. I jumped and I expanded, fully expanded.
I did.
And now I'm back. And now I have a perspective on what life reality kind of is, and I'm able to think more, right? As with all the experiences you've had, you're able to see more than just what's in front of you.
True.
Right. Because sometimes that's how we get wrapped up in what's right here, right now, which is important. You got to keep your eyes in front. But I think it's your perspective of what all of your experiences and what was possible. That's why reading books is so important.
I think the possibility, what you just said about possibilities, because I was born and raised here. And I wanted to go to college. My parents were all about, no, you're not going nowhere but Midland. And I'm like, but I want to get out of Midland. And there's so many possibilities.
Mhm.
I've traveled all over the United States. I've gone to school in 3 different states. It is, well, really with Texas, it's 4. So it's just an amazing way to be able to say, but I know there's so much more possible.
Mm.
And I feel like I've been able to bring some of that back here,
Yes.
while still keeping with specific roots that have to do with my faith or that have
For
to do
sure.
with the communities that I've spent time in or
For sure.
old friends, their communities and things like that. But just being able to say, but I know this would work here. I've been determined since 2021 when I lost my son.
Mm.
I'm coming back here because if my family members wanted to
Mhm.
leave this earth by their choice, something's got to give in Midland. I've lost 3 Midlanders and 6 that were Midlanders. So suicide is not, it's not a easy topic,
No.
but I've been out there and I've seen a lot and I've worked with a lot of people in the mental health community. That's my area of study. Is that coming back here was eye-opening to, "Oh, this is what's going on here then." Because I've been off traveling all over, the United
Yeah.
States and living in different places and on the East Coast, like, it's just Midland again. Like, I really wasn't wanting to come back here and
Right.
tried several times to leave. I
Mhm.
did leave several times in the last 4 years, but I think the possibilities to help the helping community is huge here, and it's very receptive.
Mm.
Because people want to know what can we do? What we've been doing isn't working.
Right. I think we're
So,
getting there. We're getting to that point.
yes.
And about your point of going, but still keeping, your foundational roots, right?
Mhm.
Like your faith, like community. Like when we leave, we just want to throw everything out and go, right? But then
Yeah.
on our journey, we find that, okay, now let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Mhm.
There are some things that are good and are useful, practical, and we should like cultivate and pass on to the younger generation. Right.
Right.
There's some things that should be. Um, and I really I want you to tell us about Kevin, right?
Okay.
Because, and I want to tell you this because I was at a conversation last week with this young gentleman, stellar young man. He's graduating. He's about to go get his next degree. He's got a great job. Just everything's going right for him. And we're having a deep conversation. And he shares with me. He said, "Hey, since we're talking, like, I want to share something. I just feel compelled to share with you that I'm a suicide survivor." Blew my mind. Right? I never would have guessed that. And if he would have said, "All right, you have 20 guesses, 100 guesses. Guess what my secret is?"
Right.
That would not have been
True.
one, right? So when he told me, I was floored.
Mhm.
I was like, you're so put together, you know, like, but also like the facade, right? That's how we humans cover up and operate, and nobody really knows what's going on behind the face,
True.
right? And internal. So, yeah, tell us about Kevin in that respect.
Okay. Well, in that, I'm a survivor of suicide attempts myself.
Hmm.
I've tried twice. And the third time that I wanted to try, I was actually pregnant with my son,
Hmm.
Kevin. And I happened to call 911 and beg them to help me because I was pregnant. And so to lose Kevin to suicide is very, I guess they would call full circle, kind of a, but honestly, to me, that I tried when I was his age and that I was like really fixated on it at 20. And so my son and I were separated when he was 4. It's a long story for another time, but so he was raised by my parents. And when I could have reunited with him, family decided to continue to keep that divide there. And the next thing that I heard was that he was gone.
Mm.
It's something that sent me back here really quick to Midland, to find out what was my kid's journey between 4 and 20. He was almost 21, but what was his journey? Who was he? What happened to him? Because I was not allowed to be a part of his life like I
Mhm.
wanted to be. I think it facilitated his mental health, fostering it towards his demise.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know who contributed and who didn't, who contributed to this view of me that he had, which was painful for him. It was difficult for him, and for him to have to choose to want to live and succeed. He had his own business. In fact, he had several. He had worked in the oil field. He was a landscaper. He worked in construction. He had a hot shot company.
Wow.
He was 20 years old, and he had,
All
it was
that.
like I was, kind of like I had my own business at 14, and I just, all entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to college. He wanted to go where I went, my alma mater. I was so excited for that. And his dream was to play basketball there. And so when we reconnected for about 6 months, about 7 months, and I told him, I said, I can help you get a scholarship there if you really want to go. Because really all my friends that I went to school with, they're now the teachers, the coaches, all the people. So I can help plug in and get you connected. And but he just felt like that was just a crock, like there's no way you could help me get a scholarship to that school. And I'm like, but I had them. So I knew how the system kind of works when it comes to education and financial aid and how to share your life so that people want to pour into it. So he decided no, and I that he wanted me to honor his choice of not connecting with me and to like leave him alone. And so I told him I would respect that too. And breaking my own heart, I said, okay, we do hide kind of behind masks. It's I don't like the phrase fake it till you make it. That's just something I just really don't like. People are like, well, you're not supposed to look like a failure. You're not supposed to whine. You're not supposed to share your mental health. You're not supposed to gripe. You're not supposed to complain. Like, I'm like, but dude, if nobody's really sharing reality, why are people thinking that, oh, I don't know what happened. Like, they seem so nice and they were friendly and they're funny. But if you told them to put on a mask, that's what they did.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So I've had to wear the mask. And so I know what it's like to break my own face, I guess how you say it. I was confronted with Celebrate Recovery, and it said one of the first things is take your mask off. I was like, I already have. Like, that's easy. I could take my mask off. It says, but look in the mirror and take your own off with yourself. Like, take your mask off and really look at you. And I went, oh, I can't do that.
Oh, that
stuff? No, I don't do that. I'd be this person everybody wants me to be. It was easier pretending to be her, I think, for so long that when it came down to, if I'm going to bare my soul to people about Kevin, about my parents, about my life, about my journey, I have to be real with myself.
Yeah.
So
that's where it starts.
Kevin was amazing. He was an amazing person. I'm glad I got to be his mother. It was an honor. So.
And, when I first met you, you had Kevin with you.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a giraffe.
Yeah. You can show us.
Okay. Well, a lot of people know me they call him my mascot.
Yeah.
I call him my road dog. Me and this road dog have been all over Texas. Going on 170 cities now in Texas.
Oh, wow.
That me and my little helper, we've gone and we have set up in coffee shops, in churches, in parks, on the streets, on curbs. Wherever. Gone to Celebrate Recoveries all over this state. I actually took Kevin to his home in New Mexico too, where he had lived. And just kind of like sharing with people that you can talk about this stuff.
Yes.
And if we don't talk about it, we're going to find another victim. We're going to have another family that is survivors of suicide loss.
Attention business leaders and entrepreneurs. The Focus Conference is coming this September 19th, and you could attend for free. We're giving away 4 free tickets to the most inspiring video submissions. Here's how to enter. In 60 to 90 seconds, tell us who you are, what your business is, and why you want to attend the Focus Conference. This is your chance to learn from world-class speakers like Les Brown, Paul Martinelli, Ed Milet, Dan Nicholas, and more, all in one powerful event designed to ignite your success. Submit your entry today and join a community of driven, high-achieving leaders. For complete details, visit aolleadership.com and be sure to send your video entry directly to us at info@bamconsulting.com. Don't miss it. Your next big breakthrough starts at Focus Conference 2025.
This episode of BAM BizTalk is brought to you by Flash Mobile. Whether you're managing your business, chasing your dreams, or just handling life on the go, Flash Mobile gives you nationwide for GLTE coverage. No contracts and total freedom, all at a price that makes sense. Activate your plan in minutes. Bring your own device. Stay in control wherever life takes you. Contact us and make the switch today. And now let's get back to today's show.
So I trained with someone who is just absolutely amazing. He is suicidology. So I learned this in
Suicidology.
I learned so much in San Angelo where Kevin died. He called his home, and with the Survivors of Suicide Loss team, and through the Crisis Centers of West Texas, it is just an absolutely amazing. And I've been trying to bring that here ever since 2022.
Mhm.
It's like everybody that I've tried to introduce it to, including the sheriff, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like, okay, well, if someone doesn't understand me when I'm trying to explain something, I'm like, I stop, because I'm like, this is not either that's not the right time,
Not the right
not the
place.
right people,
Mhm.
or the funding isn't there to facilitate
Right.
whatever it is that's why it's kind of dropped. Or if the words aren't coming and I'm going, I gotta explain this, but I'm over my
Yeah.
own
Thoughts.
words, and I'm just kind of So I said, you know what? I'm just share it with whoever.
Mhm.
Last year at a leadership conference that Dan Nicholas had, of all places, I'm sitting right across the table from the folks that I've been trying to say we need to bring that to Midland, because they're from San Angelo. The very people that I was in class with there, sitting right at the table with me. I went, I said, God's fine. They're like, oh, yes, he is. So I'm really hopeful for the right person to hear
Mhm.
how bad Midland needs it.
Yeah.
Loss is a team that it's a loss group, and then there's also a team. So the team meets with families when there's a suicide. Say, for instance, a family might lose someone, and so the sisters go to that family,
Mhm.
and they're like, hey, we're here for you. We know how you feel. We know sometimes that people, the last thing they want is to talk to an officer
Right.
or a therapist or a counselor. They don't want a professional.
Right.
I want somebody that knows exactly how I'm feeling right this moment.
Yeah, because when somebody chimes in on your insane experience that you're going through, you have no idea. They're like, "Oh, I understand." No, you don't understand, right? But literally, these people do.
So it's an amazing opportunity. I'm
Mhm.
for my work with local law enforcement. I really am.
Mhm.
A lot of people think I'm crazy to even
No.
want to. My story, some people know, and that's for another time too. But I'm very hopeful that I get to work with the local law enforcement, because that's what I originally went off to school to do.
Right.
I wanted to work with the crisis
Well, they're the
team
front
of
line.
San Angelo. I mean, of the sheriff's department here in Midland. So
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because they're the front line.
yeah,
Those are
Oh,
yeah. That's who sees everything here about in the papers. They see it.
the sheriff's office and the
Straight up.
police department, and because so many of the suicides that happen here in Midland, the city of Midland, so they're both involved. But sometimes it goes straight from the investigation of the police department straight to the sheriff's office. I lost a friend actually years ago, and it had the presence of everybody and their mama there. Like, it was just, the whole street was shut down, and so they've come a long way in the way that they respond and the way they handle and the way they give dignity to that person, and not like downgrading them in the news or whatever. So there has
Shift.
been a lot of, it's definitely a shift, but a lot of growth there. So
There's a lot of growth going around lately.
true. There
Yeah.
is. I also got I got 2 master mental health coach diplomas.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. As a master mental health coach first responder. So I can go, if welcomed, to these scenes with the first responders.
Wow.
That is something I would need, definitely some life things to change around for me to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And then I also have the master mental health coach for youth, because the youth in Midland was the reason I wanted so badly to go out to school
Right.
and learn how to work with kids in trauma, because a lot of the kids that get in trouble there in traumatic situations, or their families are, and the kids are just not knowing how to handle all that adult life experience. I also have started a podcast called Pink Bee.
Yeah.
Thank you. I transferred my Coffee with Kevin business to more focus on what me and my journey is now, more than just what my son went through about mental health, all that. And so I'm an artist and a creative. So to be able to help others find their creative fire
Yeah.
and their buzz. Buzz might be, you might be creative with clothes or food or whatever. So if I can help you in that way,
Right.
so that's kind of
Peak B.
Pink Bee is now becoming more about me as a pink entrepreneur.
It's your journey,
It is.
and it's incorporating everything you've been attempting to do along the way.
It is.
Right. All the different branches here, this.
Different phases.
Right. But you're bringing it all together because all of those had a creative, like service to others aspect to it. Right. That's one thing I recognize that it's a journey, but you're not here for yourself.
No. And I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. And whatever I do, it all goes right back into what I do in the community. You know, some people are like, how if I contribute or give you a gift or a donation, how in the world does it come back to? And I'm like, well, mine is in Killeen. I'm here on a mission. I now have a brick and mortar location and it's a mission.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've worked hard.
Where is that?
It's out south of Midland, out off of 349. And I'm super excited about it. I'm a patio. Your patio inspired me. So I said, well, it's a patio that I can, got a little parking lot, a patio. It's more like woodsy kind of feel, a deck, kind of I'm working on the whole situation.
Yeah.
I'd like to launch it around Halloween. A lot of people don't like all the Halloween stuff, but it's one of
Halloween's
the
awesome.
biggest outreach there is in the whole entire year.
Halloween's amazing. It's awesome. If you don't like Halloween, now I will say this about Halloween.
I don't do gore. I just don't do gore, though.
I will say this though, it's still summertime.
It is.
Don't put out Halloween stuff yet. Not yet.
Right.
Hit October.
Right.
Okay. You can put it out, right?
It's still too hot for.
Yeah, I've already seen some posts and stuff around. Like,
yeah,
it's to turn into Christmas. We're starting to have Christmas in February. Like, no, man, we just got done with it.
It does feel like it just was here. So I also have I think it's super cool. Like just one day I was just laying there thinking, God, what in the world else can I do to like give somebody a reason to want to try art that is afraid of a brush, afraid of a pen, afraid of a pencil. Like
I'm not creative. Oh, I'm not an artist, right?
I don't know how to do.
I can't do that.
They like get stage fright.
Yeah.
So I started looking through, and I went Splatterhouse. I'm like, because I'm working on an anger management course.
Oh.
So I said this would just work perfectly.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I have this building that I am changing the inside to be a Splatterhouse, and for people that don't know, it is like the 80s when we splatter painted everything you get your hands on. And you just go into a room and you can take your clothes, you can actually wear the clothes you're going to splatter.
Okay.
And then you have a paint fight, or you can go in there and you can hang them on the wall and you splatter, you design, whatever. You can have teams, you can have couples night. You can there's so many different ways to spin it.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about it. So,
and just the paint.
I get the paint and the brushes, canvases. And if it's anything extra, like we can order it in, have it there and ready for them when they have their appointment time, they're booked. If they want to do teams, or if they wanted to have like, say four people on this side, 4 people on that side, and whoever, paints the thing behind them, or like, there's so many different ways to do it. So it brought a lot of excitement to my little of 349. You're on this end, I'm on that end. So it
like what do they call those when you go in and you sting?
Oh, rage room,
right?
It is.
So it's like a rage room, but with paint.
Right. Yeah.
Except you don't have to be violent.
No.
You can be very loving and creative and artsy. Yeah.
You can. I'm on getting the music for. I'm not that tech savvy, but my best friend is, and he's coming next month so that he can help me kind of get some of those things, speakers, or making things.
So you can theme it to
wind rainproof.
You're gonna definitely.
I'm going to do that in there.
Definitely need that, but you're gonna play the music that they want to, like, you're going to create. So you're creating this amazing experience.
Yes, it's an experience. So they can Bluetooth their own playlist
Even
to it. So
I love it. I love it.
I'm
Okay.
super excited about that.
This is going to take off. It's got to take off. It's got to
I
be something.
hope so.
Because I've never heard of anything like that, for one.
Midland doesn't have anything like that. Midland and Odessa. You can,
So is this like big cities? This isn't.
yes, Austin has the
Where's
Austin Garage. Austin Garage. It's out
Okay.
there on Lamar,
Okay.
and I loved it. You could go in there. Like a lot of people know, you know how they do. They lay the canvas down, they pour the paint, and they fling it and stuff. You could do stuff like that in there too if you wanted to.
Oh, I see
Spinning
what you're saying.
art.
Yeah.
You could bring in a statue and pour the paint on it and stuff. So it's really to have an experience.
You know Austin, right?
I love Austin.
Is that what your place is talking about? Is it the old music lab on Lamar, South Lamar?
It is on South Lamar. It is over off of
Oldorf?
yes.
That's the music lab.
It probably is.
has
It's
to
like
be the
right
music
down
lab.
there by Mr. Natural, which is one of my friends' businesses. But so it's right there at that where all
Yes.
all of the
Yes.
around. So just on your way to that
That's a
point, it's
perfect
like right
building
here.
for it.
So
That's a perfect building for it. Okay.
so I've got this just little. He helped me the storage space workshop. If you could do something with it, I'm like, it's my studio. And when I was like, you know what? It's kind of hot right now, but what else could I do with that thing? Even if I keep part of it for the studio because it's large enough, like, what could I do with it? So I've just put, like laid it on the back of my brain. And then one day I was like, what else could I do to help kids have something else to do?
Mhm.
Well, they don't have to spend a fortune. They
Right.
don't have to have mom and dad hold their hand.
Mhm.
They don't have to feel intimidated. The outside of it doesn't look like anything,
Mhm.
but the inside of it, I have great hopes for.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes.
You know, I'm
Funding
thinking
would be great to help with that.
for sure always helps.
I'm always taking
But
nonprofit kind of stuff.
but so for the outside,
hmm
maybe you do art on that, like a splatter art.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or mural.
Yeah. Or a
I'm
nice.
all about painting a
Mhm.
mural if anybody needs one for funding.
There
I'm
you go.
like, I could take.
So let's talk about your art,
Okay.
right? You're an artist.
Yeah.
You've actually had here in the BAM patio, you've done a couple of sipping paints.
Several paint and sips.
Yeah.
Fundraisers. We did a fundraiser with
Fundraising.
y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's you people, you have a template.
You were one of my artists.
Yes, ma'am. Sure
Painters.
was.
Fun.
My mama was so impressed. She was like, "You did that?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am, sure did." But you out, and then you teach us how to fill it in.
Okay, so I brought a few samples.
Yeah, show us some samples.
Uh,
You know, you're the first guest who shows samples. Yes.
well, I brought some business stuff. So I even brought this.
I remember that.
My
Yeah.
little professional clown. I am now too. So anything creative, like I'm hoping to start a clown ministry kind of thing here in town.
Clown
I'm part of a clown alley and am associated with the Texas Clown Association. So I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like merge different
Mm.
facets of creating together. So
Yes.
so is one of my ones that I have that's for sale. If you
Mhm.
could see it like this. Here we go. So what I do is I draw the outline
Hmm.
and then there's different versions of I'm a flower girl. So these small ones are easier to take around with me wherever it is that I'm going.
For
But
sure.
I
It's
also
usually like what a
8x10, 11x14, because
Yeah.
it's a good little surface where people can work. But these are great for shipping. So I actually sell the kits where I just draw it. I send out either a paint list where people can buy their paints. I put in the brushes or whatever they're going to need for their project. But it's similar to when I take a paint party to someone
hmm
and I take the canvas, tablecloths, the cups, the brushes, everything you're going to need to set up for an experience. I've done fundraisers this way. I've helped several businesses, small businesses here in Midland, that were in a crunch for their finances. They're like, "Do you do anything like this?" I'm like, "I'm gonna support the art, whatever it is." So some of the people with the Midland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce that had reached out to me, like, "Can we do one here and can you help me with my business?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So But I just set it all up and they bring in the people that they want, or I'll invite people or however, and then just it brings people to their business. So
Gotcha.
if you want to see so and so's business, well, then let's book an event there so that we're bringing my people and the community
Right.
to a spot.
People have no idea about any of us.
So they're getting to see two businesses in one and possibly even more because
Right.
usually people that are there are like, hey, but I do this. They're passing out cards. It's a networking thing too.
Yeah. So you've done some pretty cool stuff at the Fi Gallery.
I have.
Yeah.
I did kind of like I don't know if it was an internship or something like that, but I set up with Jeff Neely, who was super gracious and
Shout out to
generous.
Jeff.
Jeff,
Homeboy.
thank you so much.
Mhm.
He let me use the gallery for quite a few months. I had Tuesdays with tea, and I had it up where people could come in and paint. I also did couples paint night. I did some overnighters, like just a lot of things that I just loved the gallery experience. And he just opened it. He's like, here it is. And here's a key. I was shocked he gave me a key to a gallery. I was like, my dreams came true. I was like, what? So
Yeah. Jeff
it's
is an
great.
amazing individual. Yeah.
People don't realize how generous he is and
Yeah.
how much he gives in our community
Oh yeah.
and what he
100%.
does. So
I him. Jeff is the most poetic, loving, sensitive pirate you will ever meet.
and the wealth of knowledge that he has.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he taught me a lot. I thought as an artist that I knew a lot, but boy, I've been there with the custom framing and with being able to learn from Silver and learn from Kat. Like I learned a
OG
lot
right
of
there.
stuff that
Silver the OG.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I thought I was going to bring something to the space, but which I did, and he allowed that. But I learned a lot in that
For
space.
sure.
I really did. I met a lot of amazing people through that.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, anytime you
were my sponsor for a lot of things I did.
I bet.
And a lot of people didn't realize he was the one behind me, giving me the money for this, donating for that, printing out this, sharing that. Like he did a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
100%. You know, and you know, when it centers around art, just that, right? Art, the like, it's creation.
It's a universal language.
Yes.
You don't have to know the words. Just look at the pictures.
Yeah, or whatever the art is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just the fact that it's something that is being created with like an intention. You know, even though somebody looks at it like, what is that? Well, there was an intention behind that.
There was hours poured from the heart into something.
Yeah. Because that artist was seeing something there, right? Without it being there. And they literally brought it to life. They created it. And then from the outside perspective, that's the beautiful thing about art, because it can be seen in so many different ways. The same image looks different to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, you know, back in the day when cassette tapes, they had all the lyrics.
You're that old?
Oh man, yeah. Well, at first
I remember before this. Yes, I do. I'm like, I remember before that.
Pre-CD. You know, even the CDs, they used to print out the lyrics, right? Used to go in there and read them like, wait, that's not what he's saying. Yes, that's what he's saying, because he literally said that's what it is. But the interpretation, what you're listening to.
Exactly. You might hear it as something completely different.
Different. Like, oh, well, that totally changes the song.
You're like, now I like the song. Now I don't like the song. That's funny.
What was Seal really saying?
That's hilarious. Yeah. I think that because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in this area, people that, I mean, even very young people that are like, but I wish I had this. I wish I had that. Like, I'm from going to so many networking opportunities now through, and I've got a stack of business cards. Like, I mean, I keep them.
Yeah.
I started taking pictures of them and just keeping them so I can just look up people,
Yeah.
like what it is. It'll pull up all these business cards and it's helpful, but I still have a lot of them. And to go back to, I don't use business cards for the fact that for the longest time I couldn't afford them. And I just use a digital, you introduced me to.
The QR code.
Yeah, so I did that, but a lot of people are like, but I don't know how that works. So I'm like, I do need to use just regular pieces of paper too. But I find that with people that have ideas or people that have, you hand them a card and it's anything that's creative on it, or you hand, I these away sometimes, like, here, put this on your wall, put this on your desk, whatever it is, put it in your car. You may not ever hire me as your artist, but I guarantee you somebody's gonna say, whose is that? So I give away a lot in a lot of restaurants, offices, buildings, legal offices. My stuff's everywhere. And you can go on Google and look up any business in this town, and you're probably going to see this little guy. You're probably going to see him sitting there. So there's ways that through creative tokens, I guess you could call them, you share your business too.
Yeah.
People that have like, can you listen to this song? Or what do you think about this? Or I'm like that. Do you realize you're an artist? And they're like, what? I just wrote a poem. I'm like, that's art. You are
art.
pouring something out of your heart.
Mhm.
I started a nonprofit called Pour Your Heart Out, Project Freedom. And I started this in 2023. It was partly to tell my story, but to encourage other people to tell theirs. And I everywhere I go in this town, people are like they'll be pointing at me, like, or like they'll see I still carry Kevin in my purse. I had gone for a while without it, and I thought people are like, "Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin?" People are like, you're not doing the draft anymore." And I'm like, kids would even recognize me. Oops, kids would even recognize me. They're like, "Oh, that's the draft lady, but she don't have her draft." And I'm going, "Okay, you're going back in my purse, dude. Like, come on." I'm like, this thing has been through the ringer. It's been swimming. It's been in the ocean. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
I've let a few people babysit him too. Give out the tokens. That's what I tell people. If you're crying about, I was broke and I was still giving out tokens. If you can hand out free cookies, you can hand out a coffee that you made, or you can go to someone and be like, "Can I clean your parking lot? I'm creative, but I can't do anything else. Can I pick up trash here or volunteer there?" That kind of stuff stands out.
Yeah, it does.
And I have done that stuff too.
Yeah.
Can I clean your office for you? Just, I want to do something nice for you because you've done something nice for me. We don't have enough just plain old reciprocal giving and generosity in this community that needs to be here.
Yeah.
And that is something I wanted to bring back to Midland too.
You bring up a interesting juxtaposition, right? Because of what you just said, there's not enough. However, we have like the most nonprofits per capita. This area is flooded, oversaturated with nonprofits.
It is. So I have a for-profit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like, "You're just scamming folks." And I'm like, look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Research it. I tell people online all the time because I have a platform in social media. In all of my social media, I have over 250,000 followers. And on another platform, I've been seen over 150 million times. That is a blessing to me because I get to share my mission. I get to share what's going on. I don't get to share me. I get to share my faith. I get to share my hope. People are saying all the time, like, "I don't understand. How do you get through all this that you've gone through?" And I'm like, this things that are so little. But if we don't give this to kids and to teenagers, I grew up in schools as a kid. Anyway, I was homeschooled, but as a little kid, I went to schools where art was one of the main focuses.
Yeah. 100%. For sure.
And that's one thing. I may have had parents that I don't brag about all the time, kind of probably the opposite, but that is one thing they did is they told me, go make something, go do something, go build something, go start something. They always were, how can I teach you something else about being a business owner? They were both business owners. They raised me in that. It is just as ingrained as my brown eyes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we can do that with the younger crew and the younger group, the kids that are in trouble at school, the kids that are going to juvenile detention, people that are ended up in jail and prison and coming out of those situations. Like, people need to create. If they can't make something, then they have to make something in the mess they're in.
Right.
That is not positive. And I do believe Midland can flip a script completely. And that's why no matter how many times I have fallen and stumbled and like I do, like I'm failing again, like this ain't working, or I'm broke, I'm harder than broke right now. Like, how in the world, how am I going to teach this to somebody if I don't look like I'm succeeding?
Yeah.
Because I'm getting back up. I am not staying stuck down. I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
Back to the suicide thing. How many times that's crossed my mind when people are like, you're crazy. I've been blasted on Facebook, I don't know how many times, by moms in Midland, how horrible I am as a person. I'm like, I'm really not. You probably learn a whole lot of things from me that's very helpful for your children. Like, just because you think I'm.
So what kind of things are you?
I have an opinion. Children being introduced to adult situations, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It could be divorce. It could be addiction. It could be entertainment. I'm not going to be quiet just because I think I might run off a customer. I think a lot of people see my transparency and my honesty as being true to myself, which is something that is part of my, like, this is my list of me. I'm going to stay true to me, and I'm going to stay true to my mission. And I'm not going to waver my faith just because somebody doesn't like me right now. Like, maybe you don't like the way I chose to say something, or maybe you don't like my past, or maybe you don't like the way I look. Like, it's okay. Save the time for me and go bother somebody else, or go learn about what you don't like about me, or try to learn why I do what I do. So sometimes people will like figure out something on social media that I've said it in a weird way, or corrective text or predictive text, whatever, changed it to be another word. It's like, you're so racist. I'm like, well, really not. My son's black. Like, so I've been targeted by some really weird situations that it's like, you know.
Yeah, but it was something that you did and they were in your presence and saw you or heard you say it. It's like, always been
there was a post I commented on a couple of years ago.
So there's layers of separation between you and who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And they're having to call you out to make themselves feel better. Is what it sounds
like. Really, it is that way. And so I think, and I'm sure he won't care because he gave me the chance to kind of like help redeem what my intention of my comment was. But Spencer Bennett had, most people know him from, morning radio, that he had posted something about a show that was going to take place here in Midland. And this was 2 or 3 years ago. And
I remember that.
I think it was downtown or something like.
Yeah, they're at
Little Bohemian or something. I don't remember. I think it was that. But so I had mentioned that I really feel like children should be kept in children's spaces, and adults, whatever they do, just don't bring the children into kind of content or whatever.
Kind of makes sense, right? I mean,
I've been in some of the things like I would never take my kid to something where they feel afraid, intimidated, like they're being recorded for their reaction, or because I do feel like it's not good. It's not good for kids. I was an exploited child, and it's good. And so I had said something about, I hope that a lot of parents in Midland will know to keep their kids at home for something like this, and or at least teach them about why this in the news, or why they're hearing their friends kids talking like we're going, and, well, Mom, what is this? And take the time to teach adult choices are for adults, not for kids.
Right.
Hey there, bookworms and knowledge seekers. Ever wished you could find everything you need in one place? Look no further than the Ector County Library. We're not just about books, though we've got plenty of those, from the latest page-turners to classic favorites. We're talking free high-speed internet, tech classes to boost your skills, and awesome programs for all ages. Kids can dive into storytime adventures, teens can hang out and study, and adults can join book clubs or learn something new. There's always something exciting happening at the library. So whether you're a student looking for homework help, a job seeker needing resources, or just someone who loves to learn, we've got you covered. Swing by your local Ector County Library and see what we're all about. It's more than just books. It's a whole world of possibilities. Ector County Library. Your adventure starts here.
The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever so legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on. At Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show.
So the house just started blowing up. Like all these people bringing up, all these different things from my past, going and looking me up on the internet. And like, I think it was really kind of funny because I've wanted Spencer to help me share my story. And it really kind of did. So he saw all this stuff they're posting. And after a while, he just ended up deleting the post. It had like, I guess probably 1,000 comments on it. It was nuts.
Wow.
And so he did offer me the opportunity to call the show and say, why I said what I did. And I did. And it was really kind of cool because I told him, I said, I'm nobody to judge anybody. I was a horrible mom for a while. I was lost a daughter. And so I was kind of lost in grief, and I had some PTSD, but I also had some postpartum depression, but I didn't have the newborn so people are like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's something. But so I wasn't the best of moms several times. I mean, look how many years I was without my child, 16 years. So I just let them know I was not a perfect mom, and I'm not asking any mom to be perfect. But if there's anything I've learned, especially as the mom of a 4-year-old, don't put them in adult situations.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. You're going to feed your kid alcohol? Probably not. Right? Same concept.
Yeah.
Right.
I've decided to go back to Midland College, right, for speech and communication because I want to be a keynote speaker. But another reason that I wanted to get this education is for my writing. I started a magazine. It's a digital magazine, and it's called Ink and Evidence Magazine.
Ink and Evidence.
Ink and Evidence magazine. Ink speaks and evidence stands. So ink could be any kind of medium, really. So art is going to be incorporated, whatever medium, I guess, because I'm definitely going to need advertisers, right? So people are going to be restaurants, and they're going to be small businesses or whatever. So it's going to give people an opportunity to be a part of that journey with me.
Yeah.
And then evidence stands. Evidence is truth. People can see truth in all the different ways that they want to, but truth doesn't change. It's not an interpretation of truth, in my opinion. It is
objective.
What if this is the truth? In fact, then this is how it has. This is this. So, and with my faith and the Bible as God's word, it says that when you've done all else, stand. So evidence stands. When everything else is done, stand. So I am reaching into the prison community to share the stories of people who have been falsely imprisoned.
Gotcha.
Especially out of Midland County.
Yeah.
Not going further into that topic, but I'm a survivor of false imprisonment from Midland County.
Yeah.
And fraud and corruption. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a case right now of getting that overturned. So I'm really excited about this because the more stories I can share from not only from people that are in there, but from people that are out here.
Yeah.
That are still waiting to be heard, to help build the momentum of the gates being opened and also closing some gates that other people won't have to go through. Because once we change laws and once we change the case law, because my case law already changed case law several times, actually. So say, for instance, somebody goes to trial for a charge that was similar to mine. Mine already changed case law for that person. The case, Mike already changed for that person. So now they can look at a smaller amount of time They can actually look at different ways of pursuing their defense.
Mhm.
They can also look at now they don't have to have aggravated time. They also don't have to stay in there for a certain amount of time. And they're not required to even look at the amount of time I was looking at. So, Ink and Evidence magazine is something so from a area in my heart where I've explored a lot of dark art, and there is some of that in my heart, but part of it is from a roar. I'm sitting here looking at the lion on your wall, and I'm thinking that's really what Ink and Evidence magazine really feels like. It's like this is my time to sit. I've sat back and I've watched.
Mm.
I've dug deep. I've gone to the courthouse and I've looked through cases that people in Midland were like, can you look at this case? People outside of Midland that lived here once, can you go look at this case? Can you go look up this? And I'm like, dude, like it's all the same key players
Mm.
in all these cases, all the very same key players. And then people want to say we're conspiracy theorists. And I'm like, it's you go look in the courthouse yourself, go look in the records. It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I just happen to be taking down the names and numbers and dates and charges and lack of evidence. And so I'm excited about Ink and Evidence magazine, but
Awesome.
to be able to share all of this in hopes of flipping the script, like I've said that a few times, but flipping the script in Midland for, I know that we have a new DA. And one of his things was that he wanted to get the district office back on track. That was something I think he campaigned about, was trying to like get back to the basics of stuff. I'm hoping that that's true. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it's if you have all these children in town, like say for instance this next month, looking at backpacks and all the different back to school bashes and stuff. You have a
Mhm.
lot of kids out here that are children of prisoners. If we flip a script, how many of those parents will be out here buying their own kids stuff? If the parents will be out here buying their own kids food, their own kids clothes. There's a lot, like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of nonprofits.
Mhm.
There's a lot of ministries and missions. How many of those can free up that area if their own parents are able to take care of their own kids? How many of those kids won't be in drugs, alcohol, committing crimes, trying to get seen,
Mm.
doing things like teen pregnancy or abortion? Like there's a lot of it's a big circle and a cycle. So I'm just excited to see how it all, I guess, marries together in my mission. I don't think that just a self-declared mission. I didn't want to be here to begin with.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I didn't want to be here. So
Right.
it is kind of I didn't tuck my tail and come home because I couldn't do anything elsewhere, because I was a great business in Austin. I loved it. Still have some stuff there, but an Ink and Evidence magazine is something I can do and go there too.
Yeah.
So I'm now, I haven't mentioned this to you, but now an advocate with Prison Fellowship. It is a prison ministry and will help get to change, introduce, and amend legislation.
Okay.
This is far from just being an artist,
Yeah.
but it takes creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It takes authority, and it takes the knowledge of my journey.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I wondered, but what's the sheriff going to think? Or what would the chief of police think? Or the DA think? Or whatever. It's not about any of these people that, we do have an authority here that deserve it for their position. The position needs to be respected, actually.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there are some that they deserve respect.
For sure.
And it's exciting to know that a little old artist from Midland, Texas gets to do what I do. I do go have a paint party for fun, but I also go chase Austin and Washington doing other things.
Yeah.
And it's to get to be me. A lot of people think you're crazy. I am having the time of my life, and this is exactly what I wanted to do
Yeah.
with my life. Did I come by it? I guess the words are, did you come by it honestly? Actually, yeah. So honestly, yeah, I have walked journeys that people can't imagine.
Right.
Nobody goes, it's like somebody told me I'll tell you, it was my trial attorney. Nobody goes and signs up and says, hey, can I go back here and go live this life,
Mm-hmm.
But then I also had almost the same words come from the prison minister who worked with me at First Baptist Church for 20 years. 20, she passed away last year.
Hmm.
So she said, sitting across from her in the Midland County Jail, she said, do you think any of us can just go sign up and say we want to go be a missionary behind the bars? I said, no. She goes, stand up, put your chin up, and stand tall and walk back in there like you are here on a mission and on a purpose. And that's how I handled 10 years
Yeah.
behind the bars. And it's how, when I lost my son, I believed God said, take your mission, stand up, hold your chin up, and go back in there like you're on a mission. I'm looking forward to these two huge, they're more serious. They're being fun and bubbly
Yeah.
but it's part of what Pink Bee is. Pink Bee is still the fun, the joy, the laughter, the cutesy.
It is the forward looking.
It is. It's I'm more of who I'm wanting to be into my, like I'm gonna be 52. So at 65, I don't plan on being done.
Yeah.
At 80, hopefully I can look back and go, dadgum girl, look what all you did, you know? So
You're
I'm happy. I'm in a good place right now. So
it seems like it. Yes.
I definitely am. For years, people, especially here in Midland, are like, but you eat like too much. And I'm like, because God has given me so many options. I didn't just have a bunch of stuff just thrown on my plate, like, I got to figure out what I'm doing. No, I get to choose from all of this.
Yeah.
And even with some of the people that I've networked here at BAM, they're like, you're gifted in so many ways. And I'm like, but let's find your gifts. Let's dig down into who you are and let's try to pull some of that up out of you. Like, I didn't just come by this like, oh, I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
I had to go dig when I needed what was the next thing I needed to do, or okay, well, COVID happened and I can't ship nothing out of my business. So now what do I do?
Yeah.
YouTube University. I learned how to do things like drop ship. I learned how to do print on demand. I learned how to do virtual business. I learned how to use Zoom. Like there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
I might not have had anything at that moment in my business that I was putting in a box, but I sure got something from boxes and strings that I put into me.
Yeah.
And I encourage entrepreneurs to do that. Like if you're at a standstill or you're like, my business isn't, the numbers aren't there. What is the next step? Like, is there something that is touching your heart? Like for me with the Splatterhouse, like what is touching your heart that I can go in and be like, oh, like I can do faux finishes on 10 cans. Like there's like some cute little junk journals. Like maybe there's something in you. Maybe you could go teach a class on how to use social media. There's people out here are starving for information. And sometimes it is they went in person.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are starving for affection. Can you just go sit with seniors that want to watch a movie with somebody but have nobody? Sometimes caregivers get paid to do something like that. Maybe you need to make more of a plate for yourself,
Yeah.
not just to try to figure out what to do with everything on your plate.
Mm.
Put what you want on it.
Right.
One of my famous things, I'm a flower girl, right? So one of my famous things is I don't like even necessarily the phrase of bloom where you're planted. People are like, why don't you like that? Because I'm going to plant what I want to bloom. And to me, that's a whole spin on
That's
that.
a whole other one. Yeah. Right. Right. Because you are with where you're planting it.
You're empowered with what you
And
plant,
what you want to
where
bloom.
you want it to be planted. You want it to be watered with, fertilized with. But are you going to cut it off and give it to someone? You're going to cut it off and just keep looking at it? Or what are you going to do with it? These are your choices. That's one thing I learned in prison. They could take your everything. They took everything. I lost, and I walked in there with my skin. It's not what you see in movies and TV. It's not. When I walked in there in my skin, and then I was told that my skin belonged to the state. I said, whoa. So now it was crisis mode because, you sure you hear the funny jokes about coughing and squatting. So I was like, you know what? I get to make this. I can empower myself in this situation. So one of the bravest things I could have ever done in all that time, I think, was you can take everything from me, but you can't get to take how I choose how to react or how I choose to grow from this heinous thing you're doing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I let it keep making me better every single day, getting screamed at, cussed at, everything that they don't show on TV.
Yeah.
I was so excited because I get to choose how it's going to mold me.
Mm.
I always say I'm covered in the fingerprints of God. Well, I am because he made me, but I'm also covered in my fingerprints. How do I want this to mold me? I got to choose it.
Mm.
But it's the same way with an entrepreneur. How many times, how many businesses some people start? How many I've started?
Yeah.
I could write them down, but it's all me, different phases of who I am as an artist or an entrepreneur.
For sure.
But everybody else is that way too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you live in different situations. You get to choose. That's your choice.
Yeah.
If I can encourage any person, I don't care what age they are, you have a choice. Do you want to earn $1? Do you want to earn $1 or you want to make somebody smile? Do you want to make somebody happy they're alive? You get to.
Yeah.
So.
It's what do you want to earn?
Yeah.
Because, either way you're earning it, that's the point, right?
Yeah. It's coming from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's sweat and
Oh yeah, a lot of
sweat and tears and blood even.
Yeah, all at the same time.
But no one can ever take that choice from you.
Yeah.
No matter what your situation is, they can't. They
Yeah.
they can't take your choice away from you.
Yeah.
Unless you give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to get tired of it and you're going to want to take it back.
Yeah.
Then you want to take it back, but that's mine.
No, 100%. 100%. Well, Miss Tracy, it's been a great conversation.
It has been a good conversation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad I finally got a chance to do it.
Yes, me too. I am.
So you've dropped a lot of knowledge, a lot of inspiration, I hope for people to pick up on. And you've been an entrepreneur several times. You're still doing it. You're gonna keep doing it,
regardless.
Yeah.
If it's here, there, or over there.
So for our listeners, what finals do you have before we close this up?
Well, I would like to say that when you feel like giving up, it's a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and feelings change. Feelings always change. That is something that I really wanted my son to understand, was feelings change. Sometimes love can change, and sometimes your vision can change, and sometimes your mission can change.
Yeah.
You always go back to that deep place in your heart of who am I? What am I here for? What do I matter to anybody?
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a little spot there that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's what you already have inside that feels. Another thing is that when you are faced with adversity, you and I agree on this a lot, but when you face adversity or pain, it is there for a purpose. And it can be a tool. It can actually be like so much wealth in the bank. But if you hide it and you pretend it ain't there, or if you put a mask on it, or if you label it something, dude, pick up all of the pieces of you and stand in it, really literally buckle down and put on your boots and do all the things, like pull up your bootstraps, put on your big girl panties, like whatever it takes, and just really walk in who you are. No matter what crud you've come through or facing, I have still so many fears in front of me that if I wanted to look at those huge mountains, I could be like, I can't do it. But when I look at all the ones that I've stepped over, some of them that I know soared over.
Yeah.
And valleys I know I still have to go through in order to get to that other mountaintop over there. And those way down there I see. That's my encouragement, is there's shadows in valleys, but only because there's a mountain that's casting the shadow. So.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck and wishes
Thank you.
to everything you got going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you have a going on, right? You're putting together the splatter house. Should be super cool, right? Pink Bee, you're continuing your art, walking down the path of art.
Yeah.
So tell people where they can follow you at. How can they keep up with Miss Tracy McCurry?
The best way, and I will invite you to, is to just look up Tracy McCurry on Google, because the amount of information and wealth of everything I've done for 11 years now, you'll be shocked. That's probably why I got all these pretty grades. I think you'll be shocked that how much opportunities that I've had because I have defied odds, but also because I just said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I begged for an opportunity. Even with you, I'm like, dude, I want to do this. Go for it. Let's do it. When are we going to do it? We'll just set a date, set a time. Get past your fears of speaking to folks. But I think people will be a little bit like, wow, that's really cool. But I've done it, but you can too.
Yeah.
You can too.
On social media, Pink Bee?
Pink Bee. And I'm also Pink Bee on Podbean. It's a podcast platform. I am Pink Bee Coach T on YouTube. I am, I've one that I'm on most is just Tracy McCurry on Facebook. There's a lot of us on there. There's a lot of Tracy McCurrys, and especially in Texas, but I don't know. But you'll find me. Mm-hmm. You'll see this little guy everywhere. Yeah. Go look up on Google Maps, and you'll see him. You'll see where we're. I've added all that, so you can find me that way too if you need to. So
sure.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to see this season for you too, because I know you've changed your logo, you've changed some stuff, and kind of like honed in, kind of like what I did. Like, yeah, I do all this, but here, let's focus. So, and you've encouraged me to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
So
good. And thank you, because I'm still in the thick of it.
I'm sure.
Still in the thick of it, still fighting.
Yeah. You know what? Health concerns have been a big issue for both of us. I've had some issues within the last 2 years, so I've really been fighting some of that too. And so I'm not gonna lay me down. So
you're right.
You haven't either.
No, ma'am, can't let that stop.
You gotta keep going.
They're gonna take me out all the way. I'm not letting this before I stop. This ain't keeping me down.
It's just too much fun. The entrepreneur spirit and that blood, that DNA, that feels like it's just like. I'm cut of something different. Like it's
yes. It's like my grandfather used to say about me.
Yeah.
He said he's Spanish, but he said him over there he's cut from a cloth. So always try and honor him.
Yeah.
I just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I know you're trying to wrap up, but you mentioned grandpa. Like there is one huge thing that I do that is genealogy.
My dad's big in that.
Golly, it is like it burns in me. So this past God that I'm a descendant of 4 different tribes of Native Americans that I already knew one, but I learned 4 more.
Wow.
So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
My art years ago, when I first started as a real artist selling my art, it was doing Native American Southwest, and I didn't know where it came from.
Yeah.
So I'm excited I'm exploring that with watercolor.
That's awesome.
You can find me Saturday. I know this may not be on there, but you can find me Saturday. I will be in the Goodwill parking lot here in Midland from 10 to 4. And I'm going to be doing some artwork out there, selling things that I've sewn. Mm-hmm. Just if you can support me in any kind of way, buy some little something. And it all goes right back into building Midland better.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Thank you.
You know, and that's what it is. Let's build Midland better.
Yeah.
You can only do that from here forward.
Be the change. That's one of the very, very things that I like to. People complain about stuff, and I'm like, I might complain. God, believe me, I've complained. People can find that all over social media. But I'm gonna be the person that I want the change to happen through.
Yeah.
If I see something that I'm wanting to complain about, how can I fix it?
Right.
Even if it's a pothole, how can I report this? Like, how can I focus on like how to change something that might be something that people are griping and complaining about?
Right.
Like if I see it griping and complaining on social media, like how can I flip that into, well, how can we make this a difference? How can we change this? How can we, and believe me, I gripe on there too, but how can we change some of the negative that's here?
Yeah.
You know, how, I don't know, just be
the change.
Be,
Yeah, it's
right,
simple.
but be willing to swing. Like swing with the are gonna be there. Like, which one are you gonna hop on? You wanna go down negative road? There's lots of them.
Right.
And that road is broad. Like, but or do you wanna just do some really cool stuff? And I know people want Midland to just stay the same and stay the old school Midland, and I get that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that technology, one thing, like help these kids fit in here. Why do they run off? They don't fit in here.
Yeah.
Why do they cause trouble here? They don't fit in here.
Yeah.
Save some lives, help these kids, help these teens, these young adults
Yeah.
want to stay.
Yeah. It's all about the future.
It is.
And if you help them, put them in situations where they create, where they learn how to, and that not just that they have
Learn
the
some-
capacity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we're creating anyway. So let's create with intention.
true.
I think that's what you're trying to get at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You can create a negative space real fast.
You're
Frown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just frown here. Make a negative
Yeah.
space.
Right. So you're constantly creating. So let's create positive with purpose and intention.
Exactly.
All right, Ms. Tracy. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good one.
All right, folks.
Yeah, y'all.
On the next.